guys? Jesse here with Lewis Arona, and we brought our Hoenna Kyte deck to the Richmond Championship, and he ended up top 16ing, and I ended up winning the whole thing. So we decided that we'd do a deck profile for you guys. Overall, the deck was insane throughout the whole tournament. Super happy with it. I kind of thought Hoenna Kyte was going to be the deck that was going to take the event going into it, and then honestly, throughout Swiss, I was like, oh, I'm about to get bodied by Jamie L. Kyte, or Jamie L. Luna super hard. I saw Nori playing it, but overall, the deck just kept performing, and we ended up getting there. So let's go through the deck and let's see what we got here. So we got the full art Hoenna, the Alpha Kyte, very important here. And then this was the intimidation factor right here, guys. This was the metal towers. There's nothing more intimidating than your opponent going to pick these things up to shuffling them and then realizing they weigh about a pound. Like that, you could like just chuck this at somebody, cause some serious damage. So that's always an option. So let's get into the deck profile. We are playing 3 Failed Golem 1. Just your beater. If you open this turn 1, break a fire or a air tower, it's awesome. Just getting able to start the game up with the counters and some early aggro. We decided to only play 2 delayed poison. Yeah, 2 delayed poison. Me and Lewis talked about it quite a bit. We just felt like it wasn't that great against the meta. A lot of people playing Kyte, they can bounce it back, and I still agree with this. Even though the card is very solid, I had it when I needed it, so I don't know if I was just drawing like a maniac, but I stay with this at 2.
I have my own opinion on that, by the way. I would probably not be playing this to go on. It's great early game, but since a lot of people moved away from the Shard Beast, it is not necessary anymore. That's my own opinion, but as Jesse said, it came in clutch for him. I just feel like there's a lot of better black cards to be put in place for that card, to be honest.
Even rewatching the finals, there was a moment where I was forced to play this card at a very unopportune time, and I got really lucky and didn't hit the wind tower. But yeah, overall, card can really go in one drop, kill a unit is pretty strong. Then we played 2 Dust Strike. I kept telling Lewis I wanted to play 3, but 2 was great throughout the whole event, so it seemed like a solid ratio. I don't know, I just really wanted to hit Sylvia and hit problem cards quick and reactionary, but 2 was perfect. 3 Devourment, the good old stall machine. A lot of times in the mirror we play this card and just sack it off lab because you don't necessarily want to give them the you don't really want to give them the counters on their Hoenna by blocking with it, but getting that card advantage is huge. So we played 3 Omega Magic Yami. You just need to play it really good. Standard. Then we played the most non-standard card, Returning Shadows. This card was the MVP throughout the entire event. Lewis yelled at me vigorously. We had to find room for this card. We found room for this card, and I double big golemed Joseph in the finals. It was disgusting. I would grab back the Sylvia. I'd grab back any card I needed in the discard, grabbing back Watchwoman's for game. Very strong card. I'm happy it wasn't dead early on, because if I drew it in my opening hand, I'd just mulligan it away. So I really love this card the entire event. I love it at 2, and I would never change that. So we got 3 lab. If you're playing in a mirror or just in general, this card is insane. If it sticks, you can get some crazy card advantage off of it, so must play 3. 1 statue at the Argent Tower. We kind of played a lot of weird ratios in this deck. We wanted to keep this card in there specifically for the loops with the Devourments and Labs, really strong. Just being able to just kind of thin your deck with it, get the good cards back in if you don't have the Returning Shadows, very strong. 3 Golem of Avarice, the heart and the soul of the deck. This card is nuts. Discarded about 7 cards with it in one of the feature matches. Just looping it, bringing it back with your own air towers, your Kyte, your Yami. There's so many ways to get this card back in your hand. Gargas, and just, it's so crazy just negging out and controlling your opponent's hand. So this card is insane. 2k body, 2 breaks through a lot of things. 1 Golem of Lurman. One of the things Joseph said is he didn't like this card, he wanted to cut it. I actually like this card at 1. Stealing your opponent's Failed Golem 1, stealing their Golem tokens when they don't have lab up is huge. I like this card.
It's the reason why it's at 1 is because we expected to have a lot of Hoenna Kyte mirror matches, and when there's a lab up, that card literally does nothing in the mirror match. So I felt like
I understand wanting to get rid of it, but I had a lot of moments where it was good for me. And you can also just pitch it out of your deck so you're not drawing it on your first failed golem one that you lose. And then it's kind of just a Yami target when you need it, when you have it. So I was happy with this. Hellish Guard Hoenna 2, happy with that ratio too. Was able to win some games in time, being able to just say, you can't attack with your one unit. Good luck, draw the Watchwoman. I got answers. So this card was great. One Professor Rudy, a lot of arrived triggers in the deck. Super nice card, doubling all that stuff. Self-explanatory. 2 Debilitating Miasmas. I love this ratio. This card was crazy in time. A lot of games went in the time during this tournament. And overall, it's a 2-for-1. You can't be mad about that. Reactionary 2, you can hit things bouncing back for cost. And air decks, just anything, Kinses, things like that. Played 2 Silver Watchwomen. This is something that I might have even wanted to play at 3. It was just such a great card all weekend. Almost every time you played it, unless it was getting immediately Dust Strike or handled by some sort of card that was killing it immediately, it was just pure value. Pushing for game with this, nuts, great. And then we decided to play as our last 3 black cards was 2 Demon of the Evil Eye and 1 Golem of Vengeance. This was a huge thing that I needed to incorporate in the deck. When we looked at the deck late into the night, Friday night, our biggest thing was we wanted to stay discard heavy. I knew that J-Mail would potentially be a thing, and then also in the mirror, just whoever resolves the Golem of Vengeance first usually wins. Even with Evil Eye 2, it's almost like if you get to these cards, you're at a massive advantage. This card with Rudy, insane, because you get to call the first card, then look at their hand. If you hit it, you draw off that, and then you get to see exactly what's in their hand, call the other card. Nuts. Overall, yeah, you just hold up your golem tokens too, so that when this hits the board, if they don't really notice and they handle your other golems, you can summon some more golems off and still get the effect off. I had that happen like 3 times during the weekend. It even happened in the finals. I think Joseph knew it was going to happen, but he still had to see if I would react in that way. But great card. I love this card at 1, and it's always discarding at least 1 card, which isn't bad. If they handle your other golems to stop the discard, they're still losing 2 cards, so it's really not the worst thing ever.
A lot of people cut that card as well. I've seen a lot of people not play Vengeance, but to be honest, that's like the best card in the deck. It's the best drop 6.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So then on to the green package, we got 3 Omega Magic Kaze. Great card when crashing into things within the dark decks, just saving yourself for an extra turn from an attack. I like it at 3, staple. 1 Cloud Sea. Mandatory bouncing cards back is great. Tapping things is great. 1 Nanatsu, nuts card. Overall, it just always was putting in work. Great late game. Whether you're winning or in a losing predicament where you're behind, you can just use it to pop things, exhaust things, attack over things. Very solid card. Lightning Shot was a card that we weren't looking at too much until late on Friday night, and we tested a couple games, and this card was huge all weekend. I'm super happy that we ended up putting it in. It was killing Evil Eyes. It was handling a lot of other problem cards. Very happy that we added this in.
Shout out to Sean Munn.
Yes, shout out to Sean Munn. We played 1 Garga. He played 2 Gargas because he didn't have the Nanatsu. But Garga, in and of itself, we were thinking of playing it over Nanatsu until we realized how insane Nanatsu was. But Garga is your answer to Juggernaut. Things like that. I think you saw that in my feature matches that handle the Juggernaut straight out. And then it pressures them to not want to play Juggernaut again, and then that allows you to then Demon of the Evil Eye the Juggernaut, which just gets you in a great position. And then Sylvia. So that's the entire main deck right there. Let's go into the side. We got double Shrieker, 3 Shard Beast, 3 Skyship Engineer, and right there, was pretty much the aggro package. Like, these 8 cards were sided in when I lost game 1 and I needed to get in there immediately, or in game 3 in time, which happened a lot on stream. Being able to, I was very highly seeded. I think I was 5th overall after Swiss, so being able to go first in that game 3 was massive. Like, I don't think I would have been able to win a lot of the matches I won if I wasn't higher seed and got to go first in game 3. So these cards always came through, and I was happy with those decisions. Then we played 3 Roll Reflection. We say, Iskandar, we don't like you, and we want you to banish yourself like a fool. And that was pretty much the only time I sided that in. I played 2 Golem of Indolence and 2 Poisonous Strike. The Indolence were pretty much for Juggernauts and things like that. Not too good against Oron decks or anything like that. For Oron Fizzy, not very good. But it was just something to help with Hoenna Fizzy. I don't even think I ended up siding it in when I played against Joseph in the finals. And then I don't think I sided it in against my other Hoenna Fizzy match, went at a time in game 1, and I ended up winning with a couple minutes left. And then Poisonous Strike was just for the mirror match to try to make them neg out cards if they've chosen to go first after I've won game 1, because they're already down cards. So being able to hit them with some Poisonous Strikes can really neg out their hand. Plus the Evil Eyes and the big Golems, it just keeps their hand size really small, which is very important. And overall, let's talk really quick about our matchups at the event. I only lost 1 match, and that was against a Hoenna Kyte player. And the only reason I felt like I lost, the only reason I lost was when I got into a situation where I destroyed all of his Statue of the Argent Towers, and he had a couple cards left, so I was planning on trying to deck him out. And I went to kill his Iskandar with my Corona Crystal, and he played Royal Reflection, and damn near blew my mind, because he basically told me, oh, I walked into the event yesterday and today and just decided I was going to throw 1 in the main deck, and I'm just so happy I did. And card's crazy, and I wasn't expecting it. I thought I had him, but Royal Reflection just sealed the game for him immediately. And my other tie was against John Roche, playing a Jamiel solo like aggro deck. I wanted to get his deck profile. I might still try to get it. I kind of misplayed that one, but overall, outside of that, it was just a very solid deck. A lot of the matchups ended up being heavily in my favor. There are a couple close games, but I don't think I really struggled against anything. The key to beating those Jamiel Luna matchups were basically just going super aggro while playing on curve and hitting all the Avarice discards as much as I possibly could. And I was actually surprised, because that was a deck that I was really worried about. What about you, Lewis? Did you have any struggles during the weekend with the deck?
I was kind of scared of the mirror match, to be honest. Hoenna Kyte, that kind of comes down to whoever draws the Sylvia first, or whoever just starts off with the most momentum. I found myself down a lot. I only lost to 1 mirror match though. And then the other player I lost, did you lost to Michael Keller? Was it Michael Keller?
Yeah, that
yeah.
was
So
guy.
And that's who I lost to as well.
We both lost to him.
It was just like the first game, and like he was able to like. I felt like I was in momentum the whole time. I felt like I was gonna win the game 1, but then he just like sacked me, and almost the same way just sacked him. So like, props to him, I guess.
Yeah, Oron's nuts.
Yeah. So
we were a little wary coming into the event. We really wanted to make sure we were playing the best, most optimal Hoenna Kyte list. We spent like hours the night before trying to figure it out, just staring at the cards for hours, freaking out. I think we got there. I'm really happy with the list. I don't think I would change any. Do you think you'd change anything? I don't think I'd change anything.
The only thing, like I said earlier, the only thing I would change was the delay of poison. I mean, I just
don't like it. I like it where it's at right now. I don't know what I'd put in place, but I could see having a talk about it at least and trying to theorize it.
That's like the only card though. Other than that, I felt like we did great.
But yeah, if people came in not knowing our list, it just felt so consistent. I never felt like I was dead drawing. Yeah, Returning Shadows was the MVP. But yeah, I didn't have any problems in mirrors. But we did kind of realize that mirror matches do not always come down to the most skilled player winning, which is a little unfortunate. But we got there, we made it, and ended up taking home the whole tournament, and then you got all the way to top 16. So I would say it was a very good event so far. So shout outs to our team, No Honor Gaming here. And thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys sub to the YouTube channel. We have a lot more content coming for you. We got the top, the 17th place list for Mono Air coming up soon. Also the list for the Gillian Solo Player, which is super awesome deck. You guys should totally check it out. I'm going to get that deck profile as soon as I can. So thank you guys very much for supporting the channel and supporting us, and we will see you at Columbus. Peace out. Okay, so last 2 things before we end this really quick is some fun experiences from the event. We ended up playing 41 cards. I was freaking out, saying that is not acceptable, and it's funny because Joseph's list said in his deck profile, he's like, I can't play more than 40. But we played more than 40, and it worked out, and it was just as consistent. Don't always think that you need to play 40. I thought that. I was like, Lewis, I want to see Sylvia at the highest percentage, and he's like, bro, it's
yelling
no
at
big
each
deal.
other. Like 41 is not a big deal. Like,
and then we decided to do it. So yeah, the ratio that goes up is so small you'd be surprised. We pulled out the calculators. I can't remember offhand what it was. And the other fun thing that happened
The way you win championships right here. Tell them, Jesse.
So I accidentally realized the night that they posted all the deck profiles online, Saturday night, that I had accidentally written that I was playing 6 Corona crystals
Savage.
on my deck, which
Oh, man.
I was getting rushed to go take a picture for the bounty stuff, and I was freaking out the night before Top Cut because I was sure that I was going to get a game loss and it was just going to ruin my whole experience. So I got super lucky that they were understanding. Obviously, I wasn't playing 6 Corona Crystals because they would have just crashed into each other. I would have been sitting there turn 5 with no mana, looking like a dumbass. Yeah. So thankfully they were understanding with me on that, but I just wanted to share this little last minute freak out that I was having. Called up my good friend Ryan Miles, crying vigorously, and he told me I was going to get a game loss, which just made me keep crying. But it all worked out, and it's huge because I would have lost in the first round on stream if I had gotten a game loss, because I won game 1, Tim won game 2, and that would have been the end, and I would have lost. But clearly I was not cheating. I wasn't playing 6 Corona Crystals.
Yeah, I don't even think there's a way you can play.
You're legally not allowed, so thank God. But yeah, thank you guys once again. Peace out. Bye.